Mrs. Katagum,
Yeah.
thank you for the possibility to have you here. So, what makes Bulgaria interesting place to visit by the Minister of Industry from the biggest economy in Africa?
First of all, Nigeria and Bulgaria have had a very long history. We established our diplomatic relations as far back as 1964. Since then, we've had a lot of collaboration with past administrations. We've exchanged visits of heads of state and government. And in the late 70s and up to the 80s, Bulgaria was able to help us with the training on scholarship, on Nigerian scholarship of students who were needed to fill in the manpower needs of the country, particularly in the technical areas. And of course, I've mentioned Bulgarian construction firms have played a big role and gave us the added support we needed during the first Act 77, whereby they helped us construct the iconic National Theatre, which is modeled after the theatre in Varna. So there are a lot of areas of collaboration, and then somewhere in between, the relationship kind of waned, but now there is renewed interest at the highest level by our presidents. And I came here on the instruction of my president to come and convey the goodwill of the people of Nigeria to His Excellency the President, and to say that I was well received and we've had interesting discussions.
Yes, this was my next question. What are your impressions from your meetings with Bulgarian government officials and businesses here?
I think first of all, whenever you're looking at relationships, first of all, there must be political will at the highest level. And I must say, I thank His Excellency, because when I was received in audience, we had extensive discussions, and he did give us some pointers as to the directions. There were certain things I wasn't quite prepared for, and he said, why don't you look this way? Why don't you look that way? And on the business side, as you're aware, we came with the Lagos Chamber of Commerce to partner with the Bulgarian Chamber of Commerce. And these two chambers are both very old chambers. And the businessmen, the interaction they've had so far is very encouraging. And I've seen a lot of curiosity, a lot of questions are being asked, new areas of collaboration. And that really, for me, gives me a lot of hope that is not just the government-to-government bit, that the private sector is also going to be actively engaged in this renewed relationship. There are areas that, in our discussions, areas that we think, already either there's some agreements in the pipeline, for example, as she mentioned, in education. Of course, to even thank you for the collaboration with the News Agency of Nigeria.
Yes.
We're also looking at the larger framework for us to have a joint commission between Nigeria and Bulgaria, because it's within
on
that,
matters of education or matters of...
No, it will encompass our entire bilateral relations. It will have trade, it will have economy, it will have military or security, all kinds of subjects that we think are important. It would also have things on the visa regime,
Yes.
to see how can we make it easier for Nigerian businessmen or travelers to come to Bulgaria,
And vice
versa.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've also mentioned, because part of the issues we have with imports are quality and standardization. So we propose a collaboration between our standards organization in Nigeria and yours.
Bulgaria.
Yes, so that we're sure of the standards, because you are in the EU, we are operating within our own space. And today we visited the Industrial Zones Authority.
Yes.
And very interesting, so that already some of our businessmen, the private sector people we came with, have started making inquiries, indicating interest. How can they go about this? So there's a need
For locating here in Bulgaria?
Yeah, because this morning
Yes.
we went to the agency. So a lot of areas, and I think...
Is there the opposite interest from Bulgarian companies to establish branches in Nigeria?
Yeah, so we hope that when they come and see the possibility, because back in Nigeria we have a lot of private sector-led special economic zones or free trade zones.
It's private sector-led,
They are private sector.
no government
No,
involvement.
we have the government ones,
Yes.
but we have those run by the private sector, and they're doing very well.
Okay. How do you assess the trade between our two countries? As you mentioned, it was quite dynamic before the changes here. And where do you think there are opportunities for further enhancement of this trade?
Yes, right now the trade between us is not, it's a bit low from our assessment, and there are a lot of opportunities and room for improvement. During our engagements, we've given pointers to areas of improvement. On our side, there has been a lot of regulations and policy frameworks that have been put in place, both at the national level and of course at the continental level. And as you are very much aware, Nigeria is the largest economy in Africa, and we have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which is an opportunity for anyone that wants to come and invest in Nigeria. Also, there are several areas. Nigeria has diversified away from oil and gas, even though gas is a major commodity for us. But we're looking at other things. We're looking at agriculture. We're looking at supply chains, both food, etc. We're looking at other commodities, mineral resources, information technology, fintech.
What kind of services you are talking about with your partners here in Bulgaria? You mentioned construction, maybe, or some other kind of...
We mentioned construction, but also financial services, fintechs.
Yes.
I did mention in our discussions that Nigeria has had, because we have a very dynamic, tech-savvy young population, a lot of our young people have gone into the fintech industry, and quite a number of them are already unicorns. We have about 5-6 unicorns, Nigerian company startups. So a lot of opportunities. We've also gone to see the space agency. So we saw a lot of areas of collaboration. We've also looked at the area of mineral resources, the area of gas. We have this food and energy crisis,
yes.
Both as a result of the war in Ukraine and also sometimes the global ups and downs of the market. But the biggest opportunity also is with the AFCFTA, is to have investors that come in and produce in the country. Because with the AFCFTA, you need to be producing in an African country.
So you mentioned the gas. Do you see the opportunity for further enhancement of gas deliveries to Bulgaria, or even oil deliveries to Bulgaria?
Exactly. We have the largest refinery, perhaps in Africa. That's the Dangote refinery. That's going to come on board sometime this year. That's
in Bulgaria?
going to, no. In Nigeria.
Yes. Yes.
So that's going to both service the domestic market and external market, as well as that particular factory or refinery is also dealing with fertilizers.
Yes.
So there'll be a lot of other byproducts of the petroleum sector. So that's a big opportunity, and I'm glad somebody from the group, the Dangote group, joined the Lagos Chamber of Commerce to come here, and we hope that by the time His Excellency visits Nigeria, there should be an opportunity to have further discussions with the Dangote group.
You mentioned His Excellency, you mean the President?
Yes. We're
He's
looking
planning
forward we're looking forward to him coming to Nigeria.
So, in your opinion, where is the best option for the visit of our president to Nigeria? Do you speak for time framework or something like this?
Well, we believe in terms of time, sometime in the middle of May, subject to confirmation. And we hope...
This May, in
yeah,
few weeks?
Yes. And we hope he'll be able to visit Lagos, because Lagos is where you have the iconic structures that were symbols of our relationship in the past.
Yes.
But one particular structure, the National Theatre, has been completely refurbished. We would very much welcome him when he comes to Abuja and Lagos.
Are you planning to make some oil shipments to Bulgaria in the near future? Are there talks about this?
Well, I think initial, on the surface, initial talks, but
Yes.
these talks will have to be concluded with our Ministry of Petroleum and the private sector providers in the petroleum sector.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you again, and I hope to see you again soon for further enhancement of this partnership.
Yeah, okay, but I think the final thing is to say also that our two ambassadors, the ambassador of Bulgaria
Yes.
to Nigeria and Nigeria's ambassador to Romania, Bulgaria, and Slovenia, you know, have played an active role in this reawakening of the bilateral relations between the two countries, and would like to thank them. And we look forward to seeing you in Nigeria very soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.